how do you paint without hands?
See, I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet.
I almost guessed that already, but isn't that hard to do?
You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now?
I can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was at using her feet to eat, I figured painting may not be the problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject.
The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat?
Well, paintings tend to be flat.
Not like that flat. You know, flat, like some people are. No substance, no meat where there should be some. I know a few girls who...
Okay, I get it. I couldn't really tell. I'm not good with art. I can't name many artists or any artistic terms, so I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself," without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
I don't think I'd get any actual work done, but if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp, like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any.
Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel like the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be of any help, though.
It's just mixing some paints. You can do that. Probably. Do you have any motor control problems? Like, you know, those people who have some? Cerebral palsy, maybe?
Not that I know of.
I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that.
She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't.
Let's do it then.
So she sits on an empty wooden box, and very naturally picks up a wide brush between her toes with her bare right foot. I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paint flows lazily from the can to the bowl, like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new, monotone hue. Rin sets to work, every now and then asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision, down to the last milliliter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are obscure at best.
Add half a splash of green.
I crouch down to pick up the can of bright green.
The other green. This green.
I carefully pour some of the other green paint into the mixing bowl.
No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add?
No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of smile appears in the corners of her mouth.
Do you lack an opinion?
No, it's just that I have no idea.
It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white.
With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the mixing bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream, but can't remember it. Maybe it's yellow?
Despite the impossibility of mixing a color like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. Seeing a painting being born on the plastered wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind in the least. Maybe it's just in my head. Her entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works on the details, adding layers of paint on top of the other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. When I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint, the rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, neither of us says a word for the longest time. And even those short discussions soon evolve into a shorthand, both of us developing and using weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues. As if there was some need to converse words and breathe and sound. We stay there late into the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly. The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber, in the unpleasant state of wakefulness. I linger under the blankets for a few minutes, gathering energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I haven't already. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here, I don't think they are going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck until the talk of exercise as well. So eventually, I do rise up, swallow the morning medications, and put on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempted from taking part in gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit. I'd ordered some to cover such a contingency, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them for that anymore, so maybe they can give the new life this way. A bit like me. After all, if I'm going to start taking care of myself, I can't afford to slack around. I'll start from the basics. Basics which included keeping the rest of my body in shape, along with what little I can do to strengthen my heart. Maybe then I can go back to something approaching a normal life, or at least something where I'm less likely to fall over dead at any minute. I'm surprised to discover I'm not the only one present at the track. Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lithely, like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was the short one, but I can't remember. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic leg clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is oppressing the poor girl to jog, just like he is oppressing me. I certainly wouldn't be here if it weren't for my health, and it's prompting me to do so. And even with the things being like they are, it's only because I wanted to get it out of the way early. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get into shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems that my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over.
Good morning! Your name is Hisao, right?
She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remembered my name.
You may not remember me. Emmy? I knocked you over in the hall yesterday. Miss Ibarazaki!
She imitates Misha, imitating Shizune, failing to get the same kind of subdued lit into her high-pitched voice. How could I forget such a blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling.
Yeah, sorry about that. Again.
Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine.
Great!
I'm not sure she realized I was joking. So the spy consultant from the nurse was talking about, is that actually you?
That's right!
Oh, I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest.
What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy?
No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have had someone watch my every move. Unless you are here to do exactly that.
No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I've seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kinda lost around the track.
So why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose.
Training!
For what?
Track?
Oh, I see. You're on the track team then. Emmy nods enthusiastically.
Yep, I'm one of the better runners too.
And modest about it too.
Hey, you should join up. It's good exercise, you know.
I think that much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure that I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm not really into organized sports, you know? It's true, I never even really got that much into soccer. I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was the only reason I ever played. It wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning.
I see. Not that into the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're going to run together, huh?
What? Sure, I guess. Emmy seems pleased.
Are you going to warm up?
Real men don't warm up.
Oh no, you should always warm up. Bad Hisao.
She scolds me enthusiastically, but then smiles and leans closer.
I hate warming up too.
She laughs suddenly.
Heck, and I don't even have to stretch my legs.
As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic.
Let's go!
So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being a good runner. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Hands spread, right? And something about hitting the balls of your feet rather than the heels. I try to match my stride to Emmy's, but it's pretty difficult. Apparently, I'm not very good at it. Maybe Emmy could help me with that sometime. I'm not really feeling up to more than a couple laps today, and slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running, and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skips to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my own somewhat gasping demeanor.
Finished already?
I hang my head ruefully. Yeah, I'm not in very good shape right now. Emmy nods, and then grins at me again. She seems to do a lot of smiling.
Well, the important thing is you started, right? Next time, you just have to try to hold out longer. And then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great!
I'll keep that in mind. But I think right now, I'm gonna go get ready for class. Shouldn't you? Emmy shrugs unconcernedly.
Nah, I've got plenty of time.
I notice that she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug.
Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Hisao!
Yeah, see ya. I'm not sure whether this morning's experiment was a success or a failure, but I'll admit that I do feel slightly good about getting out there this morning. And like Emmy said, I just need to keep at it in order to get better, right? Practice makes perfect, or something like that. It's nice to at least feel like I've taken some semblance of control over my health. I'll have to try to keep this up. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog.
Sup?
What are you doing here? What the hell? You scared me. What's your problem?
I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man.
What do you mean all over the place? I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but hold my tongue back. I finally realize I'm still naked too and quickly pull up my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why doesn't he wipe them off? Is his vision so bad that he's like perpetually seeing through fog?
You know, your room and... yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money?
He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane-sized glasses. Talking naturally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it's even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't even see me being naked. To say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I try to brush the feeling off, with little success. Money? Sure.
Awesome.
Wait, why do you need it?
Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal.
This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment since his thoughts were so clearly impure. And his intentions are probably even more sinister since he can't tell me what they are. I say as much to him.
I'm offended, man. But if that's your game, fine. I guess I have no choice. I want to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest.
I get some of that pizza too, right?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class. You don't have time to eat a pizza.
What about you?
I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy. You'll have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you. And the pizza, and they will ask you for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before. That's how I know. Every day I plan my vengeance so that when the people who wrong me order a pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant.
Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony.
But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please? You're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza. It's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without planning it carefully in advance. I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing? Maybe wondering how I got there. And then out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning. Splitting the sky, like how you would split a sandwich in 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird crapped on my head. It was the second most shocking moment of my life.
What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that. Even if it's more likely he just didn't hear me.
It was like in the openings of some kind of anime show. You know how there's always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival, and they fly at each other and clash swords, and there's like big dramatic colored auras and zoom? It was like that, but with poo.
Okay.
So yeah, I need some money. Please, don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen.
I thought it was 400.
Okay.
What?
I'll pay you back. I swear.
You better. That's what it means to borrow stuff.
I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back.
You have 1 week. Kenji winces and makes a noise like a dying cow. A particularly disturbing fact that his baton is conducting freely.
You're not supposed to be so tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make?
That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star.
So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody!
Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? This feminist agenda stuff again?
This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit. But this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy. Make no mistake. You take them lightly, and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife in your back. BAM! Out of nowhere!
How do you wake up in the morning if someone stabbed you in your sleep?
Women are terrible at stabbing things.
I thought you said they don't take them lightly.
Well, I mean, don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat. But if there was some kind of war, like a big war, with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other side, it would be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers!"
You're being ridiculous. There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean, it'd have to be massive. You couldn't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with women only in it.
Who said it was on Earth?
I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror, so that I can figure out what kind of frown would best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyway. Which, unfortunately, means that he just keeps on ranting without any regard to sense or sensibility.
Yeah, there's a war going on. A war not many know about. But it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all the known world. Then we will have to pick sides. We will have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it. The bloody battlefield. A vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought the cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight. When I mistook the time. The power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized if I gave up, it would be all over. And I was like, whoa! And I knew I had to get serious. Because I am the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty.
Must be a pretty crappy movement if all hinges on one naked guy ranting in a bathroom at another naked guy.
Let's start project.